The morning air shimmered with the scent of rain and earth. The village of Eldoria lay quiet, wrapped in the mist of dawn. Kaito stood before the wooden gate, the same one he'd looked at 1,000 times. But today, it was different. Today, he was leaving. He looked back one last time. The stone cottages, the winding paths, the familiar fields where he had trained, all bathed in a golden haze. It felt unreal. Grandfather's voice echoed in his memory. One day, you must leave to find your purpose. The world beyond this village holds both your fate and your trials. He had packed only the essentials, his worn wooden sword, a small pouch of coins, and a keepsake, the pendant his mother left him. Its gem glowed faintly in the light, as if whispering, "Go." Kaito took a deep breath. It's time. And with that, he walked through the gates and onto the open road. The forest path stretched endlessly before him, alive with color. Sunlight pierced through the canopy, painting the dirt trail with shifting patterns of gold. The air hummed with the distant call of birds and the whisper of wind. He walked for hours, excitement and fear wrestling in his chest. Every step felt both heavy and freeing. "Fall! How far? Far. I had to," he said. Along the way, he passed travelers, merchants with creaking carts, wandering minstrels, armored adventurers. Some nodded as they passed, others ignored him. One old merchant called out, "Heading to Greyhaven, lad?" Kaito nodded. The merchant smiled, his eyes glinting. Then, "May your courage outlast your luck." The words stayed with Kaito long after the man disappeared down the road. By evening, the trees parted, and Kaito caught his first glimpse of Greyhaven, the city of adventurers. It was vast. Towers of white stone rose high into the clouds, bridges arched between them like silver ribbons. The streets below pulsed with life, traders shouting, blacksmiths hammering, adventurers laughing and boasting of victories. Kaito's eyes widened. So this is the world beyond Eldoria. He made his way through the bustling crowd, clutching his small pouch nervously. Everything felt overwhelming, the noise, the colors, the energy. His gaze landed on a large stone building at the center of the square. Above its door hung a crest shaped like a sword and quill, the Guild of Seekers. Kaito exhaled slowly. This is where it begins. Inside, the air was thick with chatter and the smell of ale. Adventurers of all kinds filled the hall, knights polishing armor, mages discussing spells, rogues flipping daggers between their fingers. A tall woman behind the counter looked up from a stack of scrolls. "New recruit?" Kaito nodded quickly. I'd like to register." She handed him a parchment. "Name?" "Kaito." She scanned him up and down, then handed him a simple bronze badge. "Welcome to the Seekers Guild, Kaito. You'll start as a novice. That means small quests, no glory, and no dying on the first day." "Understood." Kaito nodded again, a nervous smile forming. "Understood." He turned to look at the quest board, dozens of papers fluttering like wings. Fetch herbs. Deliver supplies. Hunt small beasts. It wasn't the grand adventure he had imagined, but it was a start. Kaito's first quest was simple: deliver medicine herbs to a healer on the city's outskirts. But halfway there, a pack of wild boars blocked the path. He tried to scare them off. It didn't work. One charged. He swung his wooden sword, missed. The force of the impact threw him into a ditch. Mud filled his mouth, and his pride shattered. By the time he stumbled back to the guild, bruised and drenched, laughter greeted him. A group of adventurers snickered at his muddy clothes. "First day?" one of them said mockingly. "The forest chewed you up, rookie." Kaito clenched his fists, swallowing his anger. "Hey," the voice came from behind him. A woman leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Silver hair, piercing amber eyes, a rogue's grin. "You swing that stick like it's going to listen," she said. "But I've seen scarecrows fight better." Kaito frowned. "I was outnumbered, so..." She shrugged. "You think monsters care about fairness?" He didn't reply. She studied him for a moment. "You've got fire, though, I'll give you that. What's your name, rookie?" "Kaito." "Lyra," she said, extending a hand. "If you plan to survive here, you'd better learn to fight smarter. Come by the training yard tomorrow." He hesitated. "Why help me?" Lyra smirked. "Because I hate watching people waste potential." The next morning, Kaito showed up at the yard. Lyra was already there, moving with a grace that seemed effortless. Her daggers flashed like silver arcs in the sunlight. "Glad you showed up," she said. "Most rookies crit after their first beating." She tossed him a practice blade. "Now, show me what you've got." Kaito charged, swinging hard. She dodged easily, her movements fluid as water. Every strike he made, she counted with precision, until he collapsed, breathless. Lyra crouched beside him. "You rely too much on strength. This world isn't kind to brute force. Learn to think, to adapt." He nodded, gasping. "Then, teach me." She smiled. "That's the spirit." For days they trained. She taught him to read enemy movements, to predict, to stay calm under pressure. With every session he improved, his reflexes sharper, his balance steadier. At night, they'd sit by the river, talking about life beyond the city walls. Lyra spoke of lost friends, unfulfilled dreams, and the endless hunger of adventure. He spoke of his village, his promise to his grandfather, and the mysterious flame that once burned within him. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Kaito sat alone on the guild's rooftop. The city below sparkled like a sea of stars. He drew the pendant from his pocket, the gem pulsing faintly again. He'd never noticed it do that before. Suddenly, a voice echoed softly in his mind. "Seek a forest where the crimson trees grow. Your path begins there." His heart pounded. The forest. Could it be the same one Lyra had mentioned? Before he could question it, Lyra appeared behind him. "You're quiet tonight." He slipped the pendant back into his shirt. "Just thinking." She leaned against railing. "Good. Thinking keeps you alive. So does listening. Tomorrow, I'm taking a new quest. Dangerous one. You in?" He hesitated only a moment before nodding. "Yes." Lyra smiled, her amber eyes gliding. "Lion, distinctly. Then get some rest. Rookie, John Rogg, Tom." Kaito watched her leave, the wind carrying her laughter into the night. He looked once more at the glowing pendant, its light flickering like a heartbeat. The forest. My destiny starts there. The next dawn came swift and bright. As Kaito stood at the gates of Greyhaven beside Lyra, the city behind them and the unknown before, he felt something stir within. Courage, fear, and a strange sense of familiarity. Lyra adjusted her cloak. "Still sure about this?" He nodded firmly. "More than ever," she grinned. "Then let's see if the world's ready for you, rookie." And together, they set off down the misty path, toward the forest where fate awaited. Each step echoing the promise of adventure, the beginning of something far greater than either could imagine. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Blessed Rebirth. If you enjoyed Kaito's story, like, share, and subscribe. It keeps these adventures going.